Hello, I'm Tim Smith with Gettysburg History, and welcome to a Monuments Monday. So I thought today I'd talk a little bit about some of the monuments you see around the Gettysburg battlefield that are not really associated with the Battle of Gettysburg. And I think this is confusing for people. They come to Gettysburg, they drive around the battlefield, they see hundreds of monuments. And I remember this one in particular was confusing to me as a kid. I would ride by it and I just imagined that it was a monument to a unit that was involved in the battle, like the hundreds of other monuments you pass. But actually, this monument has nothing to do with the Battle of Gettysburg. It's a monument to honor Samuel Henry Stein Sr., who was born in Lebanon County in 1871. He died on December 19th, 1930. And according to a newspaper article, he was the chaplain of the Pennsylvania State Firemen's Association, and he's killed instantly near Gettysburg when his car suddenly swerved from the road and hurled into an adjacent field. The automobile was overturned and demolished, and he was killed. In a subsequent article, it mentions that it was believed that he had a heart attack and passed out and was killed at this location. He was a York clergyman, and he was actually traveling south on the Emmitsburg Road from Gettysburg to visit a daughter who was attending Hood College. He had been the chaplain of the Pennsylvania Firemen's Association from 1914 until his death in 1930. And on July 1st, 1933, this site was marked by this monument by the Firemen's Association of the State of Pennsylvania. And it was dedicated to his memory, and about 100 people were in attendance that day. So again, travel down the Emmitsburg Road about 3 miles from Gettysburg, and you'll see this statue. So another marker, monument marker and tablet, another marker you might see around the Gettysburg National Military Park that is kind of interesting is this marker right here that honors the site of Camp Colt. So during the summer of 1917, the United States War Department established an infantry camp at Gettysburg on a portion of the fields of Pickett's Charge. By the time it closed in November of 1917, the camp had trained about 15,000 men, most of whom were sent to Europe. During the spring of 1918, Camp Colt was established in the same fields. It was the training ground for the newly formed United States Army Tank Corps. Commander of the camp was 27-year-old Dwight David Eisenhower. The camp trained thousands of men in the Tank Corps and remained active through the end of World War I, officially closing in March 1919 here at Gettysburg, and then it moved to Fort Meade. During the fall of, or September 1918, Dwight David Eisenhower, his leadership abilities were tested during the Spanish flu epidemic. His quick reaction, early declaration of a quarantine, and cooperation with local officials in the town and the county were instrumental in limiting the pandemic's spread. Eisenhower's administrative ability at this camp attracted the attention of the War Department, and he was awarded the Distinguished Service Medal for displaying unusual zest, foresight, and marked administrative ability while in command. Now, this plaque was dedicated on August 23rd, 1954. And this tree, pine tree, was planted here at the site of the camp. It was at the end of a homecoming reunion week for veterans of the Tank Corps Association. More than 3,000 people turned out for the afternoon program that included a parade through the borough and the dedication ceremony along the Emmitsburg Road. The speaker at the dedication ceremony was Floyd L. Parks, who had been a member of the Camp Colt training site here in 1918. He served as a machine gun instructor with the 65th Engineers of the U.S. Army's 1st Tank Corps Unit. And in World War II, he became a general, and at the time of the dedication of this plaque, was in command of Camp Meade in Maryland nearby. At the Adams County Historical Society, we do have in our possession the actual speech that he gave here, his handwritten, his typed notes that he apparently handed somebody after the ceremony that are preserved in the collections of the Adams County Historical Society. And one thing I wanted to mention about Parks, he loved golfing, often went golfing with President Eisenhower, and at one time, Parks scored a hole-in-one while playing against Eisenhower. And again, this monument is not far from the edge of town along the Emmitsburg Road. And another thing we have, I'll show here in our collection, we have several magazines that were published by the Tank Corps while it was training in Gettysburg, and of course with their motto on them, treat 'em rough. And the last marker I wanted to talk about in this series is the newest marker, monument, or tablet in Gettysburg. And that's a marker that we have placed here at the Gettysburg Beyond the Battle Museum to honor Edward Stuart Plank, who was a Hall of Fame pitcher for 17 years in the major leagues. It was actually dedicated on August 31st, 2025, on Eddie Plank's 150th birthday. And of course, Eddie Plank is one of the greatest left-handed pitchers of all time. He was the first left-handed pitcher to 200 wins. He was the first left-handed pitcher to 300 wins. If you count his time in the Federal League, he had 326 wins. He had over 2,000 strikeouts. He pitched in over 600 games and was completed 410 games. Just an amazing pitcher. Inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1946. And Eddie Plank, or Gettysburg Eddie as he was better known, was born just about 8 miles north of here along the Harrisburg Road. Remember, if you like all the content that we continue to put on our YouTube channel, please like and subscribe.